One. All right. Good afternoon. Today I'm here with Steve Bidgood, restaurateur, owner, and operator of the Salt Creek Grille in Rumson, New Jersey. Good afternoon, Steve. First thing, how's your family? How are you feeling? Is everybody okay?
Richard, I'm doing well. My family's doing well. You know, everyone's quarantined. My daughters are living in Baltimore, and so knock on wood, everything is good.
Well, that's the most important thing. Steve, you've been in the restaurant business in a long time. How many years have you been doing this?
48 years, Richard.
48 years.
I started at the Molly Pitcher. Okay, I'm a local guy. Moved away and came back. Started the Molly Pitcher when I was 14. I was a big kid, and I was dishwasher for back when the Claymans owned it.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, it is.
Now, your Molly Pitcher was a big place. You have a very large restaurant in Rumson. Tell us a little bit. How many seats do you have? I know you have a catering room. Give us a little description of that.
Well, we have 200 seats on the main level here, which overlooks the Navasink River. I'm sitting in the bar right now, kind of looking at the river. And downstairs in my banquet facility, I have 150. So I can seat 350 guests, and it's definitely I can sit outside for my banquet room, which if we do not open up at 50%, I'm going to use my outside as outside dining, social distancing also.
Give us a little idea, Steve, of your business concept and operation pre-COVID, and how it's changed for all of us as we sit here today.
Well, I'll tell you, because it was such a mild winter, January and February and the beginning of March were fantastic. We were just hitting on all cylinders. The banquet room, the communions, the christenings, and everything were booking, and everything was going great. It's just and then it came to a screeching halt, as we all know.
Yeah. And one thing people don't really understand about the restaurateurs, it came to a screeching halt without warning at all. And the restaurateurs went into this thing already upside down because, most restaurants are 30, 60 days out with their vendors. And when the plug was pulled, the vendors were still owed money. So we were in a negative to start with.
And that's the way it is. That's the restaurant business. It's not like the 70s and 80s when, everyone it was this cash, and everything. And the cost of doing business has increased so much. Let it be credit card fees, let it be insurance, let it be everything. You still have these fixed costs. They're not going away because we are closed. They are still there. And so the cost of doing business in our industry has really changed.
And I noticed, Steve, this past week you started doing takeout. Why did you wait 6-7 weeks to get that started?
Well, at first, I was concerned for the safety of my employees, for the safety of my management team, the safety of my guests. I didn't think that it was going to be this long. And so I decided to kind of hold off, see what was going to transpire. I did furlough everyone, including my management team and including my two partners. We were all furloughed. And even though I came to the restaurant, we were closed. I came to the restaurant 6 days a week for a conference call, just to do a walkthrough, just to kind of try to keep normalcy. But I did not think that it was going to be that long. And we decided to put a menu together, and we cleaned this restaurant, power washed. I mean, my chefs, my management team are fantastic. Everything's clean. We came up with a menu, and our guests, we started last Wednesday on May 6th, and our guests have been so excited to see and get a little of the Salt Creek Grille food, which made me feel great. And we got our gloves on. We got our mask on. Right now, I'm the only one in the restaurant, so that's why I don't have my gloves or mask on. But we're trying to be safe and just to keep healthy and worry about each other.
Is it just takeout only, or are you doing delivery as well?
We're doing takeout only right now. We are going to probably use DoorDash. Rumsden, this restaurant is in suburbia, and we have been here for 22 years. So many people have been regulars here. I have a family that they come every holiday, and they've been coming. Let it be Easter, let it be Mother's Day, and there's 5 kids, and they now have boyfriends and girlfriends of their kids, and the parents and stuff. They called me on Mother's Day on my cell phone and said they were all in the background going, "Thank you, Steve. Thank you. It's the best Mother's Day." And I just had a smile from here to here. It was so awesome. And you know why? Because they miss us, and I miss them. You know what I miss the most? Is my staff. Okay, I miss the bartenders, the servers. You know, that's what keeps me young. I have the beard now. So, you know.
Well, we both do. We talked a little about that off camera. Look, I know what kind of customers you have. You know, my daughter works for you. She's a bartender there. I think she's been there 8 or 9 years. And these customers have supported her with encouragement. They've donated money to her. They've kept her going in emotionally. So you do have a good core of customers over there in Rumsden, that's for sure.
I miss your daughter's smile and her picking on me because she's the best. She had such a great attitude and smile, and I miss her dearly. But they will all be back, and I can't wait.
Yeah, they'll come back too. We talked about your employees and how you had furlough them. Have you applied for any of the loans or grants, the PPP program or the disaster loan from the government?
We have. We have 3 other restaurants, 3 other Salt Creeks. And we have applied, and we did receive the money and SBA loans. And the thing we concern ourselves with is we're not open yet. And you have to use that money by June 30th. Now, I know that they are pushing to extend it. There's a bill that it's going to extend it for restaurants and certain other industries. So therefore, I can spend that money and bring back the employees. I don't want to open up now, spend it, and then I won't have any money to even open, to pay the employees. So we have got those grants. We got the SBA loans for each restaurant. Not much money for that. The PPP was a great thing that they have, and they've helped us. But there's so many restaurants that aren't open right now, and they're in the same situation that we are, that they're not able. They can't spend it. If they spend it now, then there won't be any to spend on the employees when you do.
Right.
It's not like we have the deep pockets and we have all this money in the bank to pay for everything. I still owe my vendors money, and they've been very loyal to me. And I've worked things out with people and talking to them. But, this unemployment also, there's a lot of employees that do not want to come back right now because they're getting that additional $600 plus their money. And so a couple of them said, well, no, I'm going to wait till it's over to come back. It's good for some people, but it hurts certain employers also.
Yeah, it does. It's a double-edged sword with that. I should ask you this in the beginning. You mentioned you have 3 restaurants. I know you have the one in Princeton. Where's the third one? Our
first one is in Dana Point, California.
Oh, you're in California. Okay. Yeah.
We have one in El Segundo, California. And we have a franchise Salt Creek Grille in Valencia, California.
Okay, good. So you're on both coasts. California should be opening pretty soon, I understand.
Yeah, we are starting. Well, the day before we had our the shutdown, we had a fire in our exhaust system, and it shut us down because they had to put holes in the ceiling and everything. But we have 2 kitchens there, and they are just granted us to be able to do. We have a great outside patio. The weather in California you can't beat. We have a great outside patio, so they're going to be able to do outside dining there, okay? And the outside patio holds 100 people. And then in El Segundo, we are starting our to-go food on Friday. Without the PPP, a lot of these restaurants didn't have money, not only to pay their salary people, but they're also to get product, because a lot of people going to COD right now,
Yeah, that's How about as far as the properties that you lease? Have you had to work with your landlords to modify your lease or ask for abatements or deferments of rent?
We've had success with almost all our landlords, and come June, they're going to have to work something out because when we do our leases, it's on 100% occupancy. It's not on 25%.
Mm.
It's not on not having banquets. It's not on 50%. And so they're going to have to work with us. And so far, most of them have, and have been great. But we're still working with one of them, and working it out.
You mentioned that you've taken this time to really clean up the restaurant as far as cleanliness. Are you going to make any changes, any physical changes, any operational changes?
Just in last year, October, November, December, I just replaced all the window frames in the restaurant here. I painted and stained. Being on the river, it really beats up our wood siding. And so we just painted, changed it all, changed the colors on the outside, and it looked great. But you take that money out of cash flow,
Yeah.
And so I wanted to do a lot of tile work for the back kitchens and everything. I wanted to do a lot of wood on the inside, but I didn't have the money, and I wanted to protect cash flow. So we decided to hold off on that, So in this restaurant, we're open 364 days a year. We're not open for lunch, but a lot of my people that do construction, they work overnight for me. When we close, they come in and do tile work. When we close, they come in to do wood and staining and that kind of stuff because you can only do it at night. So I wanted to, Richard, but we did that before, and I wanted to protect cash flow.
Yeah, you had to generate some cash flow. You and I talked about living in New Jersey here, that we have no date certain from our governor of when things might open. So right now, as we sit here, do you feel as the restaurants are doing a better community service, staying closed or being open?
Now, I think it's being open now, and curbside and things because people miss it. Richard, I go out for dinner or lunch with my wife on my days off, and it's so frustrating, to drive and we can't go there, we can't go here. I don't care if it's to have a glass of wine. I don't care if it's just to have a late lunch or anything. I just can't wait to be able to do that, and it will get back to a little normalcy. I think that the media is also scaring people so bad. When Mother's Day was so busy for us as far as all to go. And when we were bringing out and running out things to people with our mask on and our gloves, but almost every customer, it was, just put it in the back, and it's nerve wracking for them. I go to the post office, I have my mask on, but people don't talk. They just kind of, they just, hi, how you doing? I just want to say hi to people, talk. I love talking to people. I love people, and it's just, so I think by us opening up to go right now, it's definitely helping people. I mean, I had a guest call me just a little while ago and saying, I am so excited. I can't wait to have your ribs. So,
Right.
Once again, that makes me feel good.
You say you go out a lot for dinner with you and your wife on your days off. How comfortable would you feel about dining out right now if there was an open restaurant?
Well, I would feel comfortable. My wife, she's not working right now. Obviously, she was furloughed because of her, the YMCA, and she watches a lot of the news. She watches the governor speak every day, and I think as I said, I think the media is scaring people. Me personally, I have gloves in my car. I have masks in my car. But I'm not going to sit in talking to people if I didn't feel comfortable. But I will be out there. I can assure you I'm going to be out there. They're doing it in Florida right now.
Right.
They're
Right.
doing
Yeah.
it in other states. You just got to be careful. I really think that things will be, we're going to miss the summer. I'm going to miss my beach club, because I don't think they're going to open till July.
Yeah. Yeah. The people on the shore are going to have a hard time recouping this year. That's for sure.
Yes, very much so.
Assuming that we do get a opening, at least a partial reopening of restaurant businesses by June 1st, how long do you anticipate until restaurants all over New Jersey are at full capacity again?
September.
Full capacity in September.
But I don't know about the banquet facilities, okay? Because that, when you have a wedding and things, most of your tables are distanced apart as it is, okay? Not the bar stools. I think the bar stools will be probably end of August, September. I'm just concerned about our private dining rooms, the banquet facilities, because that's a different ballgame, even though the guests can go outside and social distance. But I don't know. It's going to be, people ask me, when do you think you're open? There's so many unknown questions, and I understand you have to be safety and, be cautious, but, it's time to start moving and getting back into it. I think that our country has listened, and I think our state has listened, and I think that we have been working diligently to there so the curve goes down. But let's face it, a lot of these things have the deaths unfortunately have happened in the nursing homes and things like that, and that's the unfortunate thing. I don't like to see anyone get sick or pass, but a lot of those are things that you can't control.
What do you think the changes will have to be just to get open in a restaurant? For example, do you think limited capacities in a restaurant are needed? Give me a few examples, Steve, of things you might see change.
I think limited capacity is going to be needed at first to build the confidence back into the guests and the employees. I think that everyone's really have to clean their restaurants. Okay, I think there's going to be masks at the very beginning, gloves at the very beginning. Sanitizing each menu after each seating and each table. I think there's going to be either less bar stools or no bar stools. I think that's going to happen. Being in this business for 48 years, people that sit in bars, they want to sit at a bar. So it's
right.
I think it's going to affect people at the very beginning, but once they go out, they can sit at a table. I'm out. That's what they're looking for. But there are going to be some changes.
Yeah, that's a big one. My favorite place to go when I take the wife out is to sit at the bar. The two of us, we sit at the bar. We eat our dinner there. We have a couple of drinks. We speak with the bartender, wherever that might be, and it's that's going to be different. It's going to be a whole different scenario going forward.
I agree.
Partial opening maybe in June. You expect September for 100% occupancy. What do you think? How long of a time frame do you think it'll be until you can generate the same revenues you did pre-COVID?
I think it's gonna. Well, a lot of my banquet business has been canceling. Obviously, communions, christenings, all that. Okay, so we've already lost that for the end of March, April, and May. I think it's going to be a good year because those parties do not book tonight for tomorrow. They book tonight for next year. So it's gonna be a good year, I think, before it's going to be back to confident people and confident of going out.
You mentioned how long you've been in this business. We've gone through several downturns since then. I guess the most recent one that we've experienced is Hurricane Sandy. In what ways is the recovery from this pandemic different or more difficult for you as a restaurateur?
Sandy, we had answers. We knew the answer. The storm came, did its damage, and left. We took 4.5 feet of water in here. I had the bank room, offices, air conditions, everything ordered the next day by 4 p.m. Okay, we were shut down for 12 days. I had the contractors prearranged. Okay, I had the electrician. I had all that prearranged. The only thing I didn't have prearranged, I was the second person to call for my dock. And Johnny says to me, "You're my second call." He didn't tell me that the first call was a whole marina in Seabright. But Joe Hempfield, the construction company, got me going, and we opened in 11 days. But we knew the answers. This, we don't know the answers.
Mm.
You know, you don't, I mean, I was able to open and do business in 11 days after Sandy, even though I don't want to go through that again. But here, for this, the virus, I don't know. I mean, I was back to business. Richard, in 11 days being closed, okay, social media found out that we were, Facebook, whatever, we were open. That day that I opened from Sandy was like opening night 22 years ago. And that's how excited people were, crying, hugging each other. They could sit at the bar. It wasn't 50%, 25%. This one, we don't know. It's different. Do I want Sandy again? No. 9/11 was different. People even said to me, "You should close." I said, no, people want to be with their families. They want to go somewhere. This one, they want to be with their families, but they can't. You can't even go see your mother or father because they're afraid. This one hit below the belt.
And you used the key word, uncertainty. That's what the main problem is, uncertainty for everybody. Our office, our firm is assembling a task force of restaurateurs to collaborate ideas with other restaurateurs to help with the reopening of restaurants. Would you be willing to participate in that, Steve?
I would love to. I'd love to share whatever I can with, I think, a lot of restaurateurs will, because, sure, we want to get open, and that's important, and getting my employees back and getting everyone together. But I think that we're all going to have to use our minds and new thought process to survive. Everyone's got great ideas. Something might work for me that also might work for someone else. So I would definitely love to be on that task force.
We appreciate that. We'll make sure we include you. So before we end, Steve, I didn't want to end without giving you, a chance to talk about, the great deal of charitable work you've been doing over the years, especially for children in need. I know this year you had an event for the court-appointed special advocates for children in Monmouth County, which had to be canceled in April. Do you have plans to reschedule that? And can you tell us a little bit about that event?
Well, the event, I do it once a year. And, it's been something that we've been doing for 15 years, and we've raised over $1 million and given it to the charities. And, for me, it always has to do with kids. I'm lucky enough, knock on wood, to have 2 healthy children. Excuse me, 2 healthy children. But I've had friends that have had juvenile diabetes, their kids, and tuberous sclerosis, and CASA, the homeless kids and things. And so we decided to do this charity event, and we had to cancel it because obviously we weren't even open. And then I said, we're going to reschedule. And the event is downstairs. All my purveyors donate everything. There's over 150 different types of wine. It's a wine party with Lusty Lobster, with food, oysters, clams, shrimp, and everything is donated. Sickles Market does a cheese. Halpern's Meats donates the fillets. The New York's Cutler Produce donates all this thing. So it cost me nothing, but 100% of the money goes to the charity. And it's my way of giving back to the community in a big part. I'm very involved in a lot of different charities, gift cards and donations and stuff. But this is my way, and it sells out every year. And it's 150 people, and it's just 3 hours, and it's just such a great event. And I was so disappointed when I had to cancel it. I waited and waited, and then I said, we got to cancel. So we're trying to reschedule it for October. And, but I still don't know, it's in my banquet facility, so, and we have the flag. We have a flag that each year we fly the new charity. And it's great. And we do a flag presentation. We do a meeting where the charity comes in and explains to my staff what it is and everything. And all the time people sit here and they look at the flags and they go, wow, what's your charity this year? So it's I call it my anniversary party, but it's really just to give back to great community charitable events.
And that's what a lot of people don't really realize about restaurants and restaurateurs like yourself. Yes, every day we walk through the doors, the restaurants provide service for us, good service, good food and drink. But there's so many restaurateurs like yourself that give back to the communities that they're in. And don't forget about the people that are their customers and that they're loyal customers. So to wrap this up, Steve, if I gave you 30 seconds here to say, what would you like to say to your loyal customers who you missed for the almost 60 days now?
Yeah. Well, some of them call me, some got food to go, and it was like seeing old friends again. As I said, 22 years here, I've seen a lot of kids grow up. I've seen a lot of families. I've had so many regular guests, and to me, I miss them. The most important thing to me is that they stay safe and that they come back, and all I need is that high five. I'm a hugger. My wife says no hugging right now, but I just want to see some normalcy and see my guests and most of all for them to stay safe.
Well, God bless you, Steve. I thank you for this time here. I thank you for all you do in the community. I hope this ends very shortly for you, for all of our fellow restaurateurs, and for all of America. Until then, one day at a time, keep the faith.
You too, Richard. I look forward to seeing you in here.
I will be. You'll see me. Maybe not at the bar, though.
No.
All right, thanks, Steve. Have a good day.
You too.